Action. Alright lads, welcome back to another video, and obviously at the end of the last word earlier today I said that I didn't know when my next video was going to be because I literally don't even have a schedule really in my head, and I've now added a new video to a supposed schedule that I might or might not continue, but who knows. Basically the concept is very simple. You've seen by the title already, I'm going to do a player ratings video of obviously the Dunfermline game because I can't give player ratings for any other game than the game I've seen, really. I'm going to run through the full starting 11 and probably not the subs that we used because, I mean, most of them don't get enough time to really rate their performance unless they make a big impact. But I'm going to definitely run through the starting 11 that we play every single week and I'm going to rate them out of 10 on their performance. So, let's get on with the video. This is the Dunfermline Athletic player ratings for the game against Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Enjoy. So, starting off with the goalkeeper, Ryan Scully. Now, he didn't have much to do yesterday. I don't think he had really much proper saves to make because Inverness Caledonian Thistle, why did I say their full name there? Inverness didn't really have much attacking flair going forward. They didn't really take off much shots that were on target and troubled Scully overall. But he had a better than average performance because he did come out and claim a lot of high balls crossed into the box and stuff like that, especially late on in the game. And that's invaluable to a team, especially when you're trying to see a game out or at least get the result over the line. So, I'm going to give Scully an 8 out of 10 performance for Ryan Scully yesterday. Good shift. Next up, right back, James CRAIGEN. I'm going to give James a 7. Steady performance, nothing spectacular, nothing that was anything like groundbreaking or anything like that. A good shift at right back, and aye, a 7. Moving on to the captain, Lee Ashcroft. Similar sort of situation to James CRAIGEN. He did have a good defensive performance alongside Danny Devine as well. So I'm going to give him the same rating as I gave James CRAIGEN. A 7. Slightly better performance than we've seen from him in 2019 so far anyway. And aye, a 7 for Lee Ashcroft. And his central defensive partner Danny Devine gets the exact same mark. A 7. Very similar reasons to what I gave for Ashcroft. Solid performance, nothing spectacular. Aye, a 7. Now, moving on to the first really good performance that I thought was given yesterday, and that was Jackson Longridge. That's probably one of his best performances in the last couple of months in my opinion. He had a really good start to the season and he has been a consistent performer over the course of the season, but certainly not to the same levels that he was at the start of the season. And in 2019, I don't think he's really hit top form yet. Yesterday, I think he was back to his best, although obviously one of his key attributes is perhaps getting up the wing and putting crosses in and stuff like that. Didn't really do a hell of a lot of that yesterday, but for the work that he put in, some of the tackles that he was putting in, which were very good for us, and we were quite potent down the left hand side yesterday, and also the harrying of Inverness players, especially winning things like a corner for us at a point in the game, it was fantastic, and I thought Jackson Longridge really put in a good shift yesterday. So I'm going to give him the highest rating so far, a 9 for Jacko. Now, unfortunately, despite it being a very good performance yesterday from the majority of the team, there has to be one that kind of slips out and becomes the lowest rated player, and for me that was James Vincent yesterday, and he's going to get the lowest rating of the team, and there is nobody that's going to be on a similar par with him. I don't think he's a fantastic player in my opinion. He is quite a kind of sideways pass type player, but he did a decent enough job yesterday. At the end of the day we did get the win, so I'm not going to rate him any big amount lower than any other player in the team, but he's going to get the lowest mark, put it that way. A 6.5 for James Vincent, the lowest rating, but not entirely bad, if you know what I mean. Next up is the man himself, Joe Thompson. Now, he's going to get the exact same rating as Jackson Longridge, and that's obviously giving away what rating I'm giving him already, but I do think he was probably the man of the match for yesterday's game, and I said in the last word that there was a few standout performers, and the players that get 9 and in and about that area, they were the standout performers for me, and the players that get 8 as well, they were good as well. But Joe Thompson and Jackson Longridge were the standout ones for me yesterday, and as I said, Joe Thompson, fantastic goal, albeit dodgy goalkeeping, but a well-deserved goal for him because he works his socks off, and he has done for weeks and weeks now. And yesterday was the pinnacle of that, and he got his goal that he's massively deserved over the course of the season. His last one, I think, was at Dundee United on the opening day, and he simply just doesn't do simple goals. So as I said, Joe Thompson, same rating as Jackson Longridge, a 9. Next up, another midfielder, Tom Beadling. Really good shift yesterday. Better than average performance with some of the tackles he was putting in and stuff like that, and he was contributing to attacking play as well. And in a slightly different role to what he has been in recent weeks, where we've had James Vincent maybe being the more attacking of the midfielders and Tom Beadling sitting. Tom was definitely more ahead of James Vincent in the lineup yesterday, or at least it looked like that for the majority of the game. So on that front, Tom Beadling was very good yesterday and did impose himself on the game, albeit at one point in the game we were getting a bit overrun in midfield, but in the stages that we were on top in the game, Tom Beadling did put in a really good shift. So on that basis, Tom Beadling gets a very solid 8. Next up, the debutant, or at least his first starting debut for Dunfermline, Ryan BLAIR. And I thought he put in a very good performance yesterday. He's going to get a slightly better rating than Tom Beadling just did, because I think that he was probably the best of the central midfielders. I know he was playing on the left hand side yesterday, but he's definitely more of a central midfielder, and he put in a really good shift for a position that he's not entirely used to playing in. And you could see at the end of the game there that he was kind of struggling to keep up with the pace of the game, but he did a fantastic job overall yesterday, and for his first Dunfermline start, he really imposed himself on the game with good set piece delivery as well. So I'm going to give him a slightly better rating than Tom Beadling, an 8.5, a really good debut from Ryan BLAIR. And here was the kind of surprise entry for me into the starting 11 yesterday, Aidan Connolly. I didn't think this was going to be his game at all, and maybe based on that and how well he did play in the game, and he could have got himself a goal as well, I maybe should be giving him a slightly better rating than I am. But it was a very, very solid performance, and probably his best in a Dunfermline shirt. But I do think that he maybe could have, if he'd got a goal, he definitely would have had a slightly better rating than he has. But it's a very solid rating that I've given him based on his performance, and the amount of hassling that he did for the Inverness defenders and helping us get up the pitch at times and win fouls and stuff like that. Fantastic performance, and for a wee guy, he got himself about the pitch a lot, so a fantastic performance for Aidan Connolly. And on that basis, he gets an 8 out of 10 rating for me for yesterday's performance. And finally, for the starting 11, Bruce Anderson. A fantastic performance for him overall, in a way, because he does do his bit up front, and he's got that intelligence about him. You can tell he's got that bit of nous to try and take it past defenders and stuff like that, and can just trouble them. And even at the very first bit of the second half, it got passed back to the defender, and he was right on top of it and closed it down and won us, well, got them a goal kick. But the pressure that he put on the defenders, he did that all game basically, and it's a very impressive trait to have, especially when you don't actually get a goal and an assist. You can say that he did put in a really good shift, and you put in 100% or more. And of course, he does his bit in terms of goals. He did that in the first game that he played for us a couple of weeks ago, and hopefully he can add more of that into his game before the end of the season. But aye, based on yesterday's performance, I'm going to give him a solid 7.5, just better than average, but a good performance nonetheless. And that's it. I'm not going to cover the subs, they just didn't simply get enough time on the pitch, and none of them were hell of a impactful on the game, or didn't make much of an impact. Don't even know if impactful's a word, but aye. That's basically it for this video. It's such a basic video concept, but I've never thought of doing it before. Let me know if you want to continue it in the comments below. Do you think it's a good series kind of idea to do? And it'll always go up on a Sunday night. But aye, let me know what you think about that, and subscribe for more of this type of content. Like the video if you enjoyed it as well. But until our next video, which will probably be Punt It Long on Wednesday, I'll see you then. Cheers guys.